Our mission is to raise awareness about domestic violence, a very pressing issue in the world. What is domestic violence? According to the United Nations, domestic violence can be defined as a pattern or behavior in any relationship that is used to gain or maintain power and control over an intimate partner. 1 in 3 women worldwide have experienced domestic violence in their lifetime. Domestic violence can come in various forms such as physical abuse, emotional abuse, economic abuse, and sexual abuse. It also comes with severe impacts such as PTSD, social anxiety, and depression. So why are people still not speaking up? To find the answer, we interviewed students and teachers at our school to understand their perspectives on domestic violence.
Domestic violence is essentially any sort of violence that is imposed on a person, whether if it's in a marital relationship, in a household, between partners, between a child and a parent.
Is hurting someone. It could be physically or it could be emotionally. So any type of behavior or act that makes someone feel unsafe or it hurts them.
In school, among my peers, no, not really, not at all.
No, this topic is not discussed enough in school because there's still stigma and taboo about this topic. Students want to talk about it, but the authorities don't know how to handle disclosures. There's a lack of awareness, I would say.
Not discussed enough due to it being not a very common issue visible to everybody.
Isolation, aggression, frequent illnesses, so psychosomatic issues, essentially falling sick very often, withdrawing from people.
Withdrawal, they include decline in academic performance, anxiety, unexplained bruises over their body. They might also engage in conversations which involve violence, but it may be indirectly.
I personally don't feel very comfortable because just discussing these kind of topics isn't like very common and it may not feel natural to talk about.
I would not think myself comfortable to discuss it in a school.
I am absolutely comfortable with it because I have personally, outside of teaching, also had sessions with a lot of DV victims. And so I think number one is, if as a teacher, if you are yourself stigmatized or scared to have this conversation, you can't expect your students or parents to understand it. So I have to be destigmatized in order to have that conversation. So I'm quite comfortable.
Mostly people would not prefer talking about this due to people not believing them, or rather that they do not want to increase the scale of this. So no.
The first thought in your head would be that you should tell it. I know you're not talking about it, but you should tell someone.
I would ask if they have a trusted person they could talk to, and if they feel comfortable about it, I would go and complain to somebody so that they get the help.
I would help them to feel safe and encourage them to talk to me. And then if I felt like it was very serious, then I guess I would recommend them to escalate it to
Through these interviews, we realized that the stigma surrounding domestic violence was the main reason it wasn't spoken about enough. We also noticed that people weren't aware of where to seek support for domestic violence. If you're a school student, you can seek help from school counselors. You could also talk to close friends or parents. If the situation is very serious, you could contact the police or consult a lawyer to handle the case. Here is a small message to the victims facing domestic violence.
It's never too late to ask for help. There is always a way out, right? And don't give up. It's really important to raise your voice, reach out to someone who you can trust.
You are not alone, and whatever is happening at home is not your fault. Help is available, and there are people who care about you and want to support you. please reach out to any authority, any trusted authority, school counselors, be teachers, and it is okay, it is absolutely okay to ask for help.